Samsung Galaxy S5 versus Nokia 6 speed test. That video is coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to the Samsung Galaxy S5 versus the Nokia 6 speed test. Now the GS5 is an older phone, but the reason I'm making this video is because I think some people out there with a GS5 might be thinking about upgrading to getting something a little bit cheaper in the Nokia 6 here instead of going with the latest flagship device, as premium devices have gotten better. And you know, this actually gives you a better build here on the Nokia 6 than the GS5. But the GS5 is a previous flagship, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is a little bit faster of a performer. Let's begin with the boot up test here in 3, 2, let's go. And we'll talk about the phones a little bit here. So you can see the Galaxy S5 on the left, the Nokia 6 there on the right. The GS5 is running Android version, I believe it's 5.1.1, maybe 6.0 here on the GS5. And over here on the Nokia 6, we do have the Android 7.1.1 Nougat build. So you can see, even with the T-Mobile logo being a carrier branded S5 here, it still looks like it might boot up quicker than a Nokia 6, and it does. So the GS5 is ahead of the Nokia 6. So if I go into the applications and I go into CPU-Z, I'm going to show you the CPU we get here with this phone here. So the Nokia 6, I have to unlock this guy, so give me a second. And you can see with the GS5, we do get a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801. This is an older device with an older Qualcomm 800 series CPU, but it's clocked in at 2.4 gigahertz, and this is a quad core with 2 gigs of RAM. Now, this phone has more RAM here in the Nokia 6. The Nokia 6 is offering up quite a bit more RAM and a whole gig more RAM here for the Nokia 6. So that's a lot more RAM, but at the same time, it does have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 430 with a 1.4 gigahertz processor clock speed. So octa-core, but a slower clock speed. So let's see what happens here. Okay, guys, so both devices are lined up here. Can the S5 take down this newer device, even though it has an older processor? It should be quicker here than this Nokia, or has the Nokia's mid-range 430 CPU caught up to the 801 of past? So let's go ahead and check this out. Calendar on both devices, and you can see calendar is first for the S5. Both devices, let me have you know, are set to 1x animations across the board. So let's go into calculator on both, and you can see calculator is first for the Nokia 6. So nice stuff, Nokia, on your system-based apps. Let's go into clock. Clock is first for the Nokia 6. Coming home, let's go into camera. And you can see camera is going to take the lead there for the S5. If I was wrong, let me know down below in the comment section. What about Chrome? So going into Chrome, let's load up a website that's similar. How about yahoo.com over here? And let's try yahoo.com here for this guy. So let me make sure I type that right there on the Nokia 6. Little hard to see it behind the camera. Okay. So Nick's typing skills a little bit off today. 1 word per minute. Oh, man. Let's hit the go in just a second here. Let they get back into focus. 3, 2, let's go. And you can see yahoo.com there first on the S5, it looks like. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can find a similar article here. I guess they're loading up different articles, so we're not going to click an article. Let's come home and let's head into the Instagram application now. You guys can go ahead and follow me at the Nick Ackerman channel Instagram page. It's right here. I post things related to the channel. You get to see the inside scoop, and then sometimes I do a live video over there as well. So check that out. Let's go into Twitter, and you can see Twitter is ready to go first for the, maybe that was the Nokia 6. That one was quite close. Let me know down below. What about YouTube's? So the YouTube's is ready to go first for the Nokia 6. So nice stuff, Nokia, with your 430 CPU. It's about as fast as the older Snapdragon premium processor. So you can see Nokia 6 right there, then the S5. What about eBay? So eBay on both devices. One goes to the Nokia 6, then the S5. Coming home, let's go into Play Newsstand. And looks like we're going to get it here first for, that was quite close. But this is just going to show that these mid-range phones are about as good as older flagships when it comes to their performance. So, I mean, that's going to be pretty good performance for most people, if you ask me. What about Subway Surfers here? Getting into a game. Adreno 505. And here's where I think the Nokia 6 should win this over the S5. So we're waiting on the S5. And the S5, not quite. So it looks like the Nokia 6 Okay. Taking a while for both. We can go grab a cup of tea, cup of coffee before these boys finish. And the Nokia 6 is done. So we can already head into Temple Run here on the Nokia 6. And you can see we're still waiting on the S5. So that was nice stuff there from the Nokia 6 in terms of that load. So let me go ahead and close out Temple Run before we compare these guys again. I guess it didn't fully load it. So we're going to go ahead and run Temple Run now on both devices. And let's hit go. And you can see Temple Run. Who's going to take this one? S5 comes back on the Temple Run application. What about Dead Trigger to wrap this thing up? Looks like the Nokia 6 has the lead here. So decent performance for the Nokia 6 here, taking down an older flagship in a lot of ways. Looked like the S5 took that one though. Okay guys, so we did the speed test now. Let's go ahead and see if they hold the applications in the background. So both cannot hold the calendar, but the S5 was a little bit better in reloading that. What about calculator? That looked like the Nokia 6. And clock, that looked about the same. What about camera? So it looks like both are struggling to keep applications open in the background. Now, this is a lot of applications. If it was only like 4, they would have loaded this quicker. But look at the Nokia 6 one there on Chrome. What about Instagram? Instagram is going to the Nokia 6. I think it held it. What about Twitter? Twitter going to the Nokia 6. So the S5 is just getting slow, guys. And I just reset this thing for this video too. So definitely getting a little bit slow, but it beats it on YouTube. What about Amazon? I'm not actually liking the multitasking on either one of these. I think they're both quite slow when it comes to multitasking. And we're going to end it here on eBay. Let's go ahead and try a couple of games and then we'll wrap this thing up. So let's go into Temple Run. You can see a reload on the games. And what about Dead Trigger? So Dead Trigger, a reload on that as well. Looks like the Nokia 6 a little bit ahead though. And yeah, so I mean, both of these phones not extremely fast. Both are fast enough though. They're not slow phones by no means. But if I had to pick one winner, I think the Nokia 6 is slightly better, even though it has a 430 CPU. TouchWiz kind of lags up the S5, even though it's 800. Now, the S5 is no slow phone, and I don't recommend you go buy an S5 now. This video is more shot for those of you who have an S5, and you're like, I'm not doing flagships this time around. I'm going to try the mid-range Android devices. They're pretty nice, what they got on the market today. So let's go ahead and run a Geekbench, and then we'll wrap this speed test up really quickly here. So we're just going to hit run. I'm going to accept this here. And we're going to run benchmarks on both devices, and I will be back when both of these are done running their benchmarks to compare the scores. So the Samsung Galaxy S5 finishes with a total score of 898 on the single core and 2586 on the multi-core. Now the Nokia 6 finishes with a 667 on single and 2796 on the multi-core. So you see that the S5 has a higher score than the Nokia 6 in the single core, but in the multi-core, it doesn't beat the Nokia 6. And in the real world, I think the Nokia 6 does feel a little bit better than the S5. The S5 is getting old and long in the tooth. And if you guys were thinking about upgrading from a Galaxy S5 into a Nokia 6, I think you're not going to increase in performance a lot. But for the hardware you get, you know, it'll be a nice little phone to go to if you want to switch into something more premium feeling, but you don't want to spend top dollar to go ahead and get the Galaxy S8. Nokia 6 would be a nice phone for you. It's probably not going to blow your socks off in speed, though. These are pretty close to even. But what are your thoughts? Do you think the Galaxy S5 is still the better phone than the Nokia 6? You think it's faster? What do you guys think down below? Comment that in the comment section. If you enjoyed this speed test, do me a favor, click the like button for me. If you want to see the full comparison between these two, let me know about that as well. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you in the next one, and peace.